All right, it took me over an hour this morning to get my backpack dialed in, but I believe it is going to work. I'm walking around the Fontana village that we are staying at. Got my pack on, walking around, going right now just up and down on the pavement because there's nothing else for me to hike on right this minute. And then I'm going to go back and go up and down a bunch of the stairs, see how it feels. But I think I may have it dialed in and enough padding in the area that I have the hip belt sitting above my hip bones, which is not ideal, but the majority of the weight will be on my shoulders. But at least it's not rubbing at all in that area. So keeping an eye on the right hip area to make sure this new adjustment won't cause any issues on that side. But right now it seems to be working pretty good. And we're gonna tomorrow give it a try. So here we are down at the Fontana Village. There's a laundromat. There's an ice cream shop. There's a little store down at the end there, and the post office. Katie did send a small package. It arrived today, or last night, so that was good. It was here when I got in. Did laundry already, so that was all good. And this just gives you an idea what the village looks like. There's a whole bunch of different cabins and areas to stay. A little playground over there. I believe that might be, that's an outdoor pool over that way. Pretty little stream rolling through the little village here. So yeah, so I'm just walking all around the area. Did some downhill, it was okay. Going uphill, what I'm feeling is the scabbed areas, no matter if I have my pack on or not, some certain movements cause it to crack a little bit. So all I can do is just try this out, see how it feels. If I have to wait another day, so be it. But gonna head up an area over here. There's some stairs to the left. So I think I'll head over across the street here and then on up those stairs. Several sets of steps. Take those, see how they feel, and then make my way slowly back up to the other side of that building to where we're staying. Morning of 10 March, getting ready to head into the Smokies. This is Fresh Ground with his Leapfrog Cafe. Everybody's sitting around getting their breakfast. Awesome to be wherever he is. Get your breakfast and head on out.
Take some fruit with you.
All right, starting down from the Fontana picnic area parking lot, headed down towards the dam, and then on into the Smokies. This is the view from the area this morning. Absolutely beautiful. I was up there with Fresh Grounds doing breakfast for everybody. His Leapfrog Cafe. But yep, I'm a little bit nervous. Guess say it's been, yesterday I put my pack on for a little bit, but it's been like 11 days since I've had the full pack on, full hike. It's a little heavier than it used to be because I have 5 days worth of food in here. Just not sure how it's going to go in the Smokies. But it's a beautiful, beautiful morning. And it's straight up hill climbing for the next couple of days. So, eat a lot of food and lighten my load, huh? Alright, so I'm on top of the dam, getting ready to go across. They're doing some maintenance work on the dam here. Wow. I'm gonna get back over this way again. The height of those mountains. Shoo-wee. Absolutely gorgeous. See that mountain way over there. Wow. Alright, that's Fontana Dam, where I just walked across. I'm getting ready to head into the Smokies. Thank you, Lord, for such a gorgeous day. Well, so far it's been a nice, I don't know if you want to call a climb pleasant, but it has been a nice gradual climb. I have not had to lift my legs really high to get over rocks or stairs, so that's been a very welcome start for me. With that hip still crusting over or stabbing over, but it's a gorgeous morning. There's I could show you the view is pretty much, you can see some of the mountains over there, just a lot of the trees. Every now and then I'll see a tree that is starting to blossom. So spring is right around the corner. And you know what that means? The bears are coming out of hibernation. Yes, hurry. But yep, beautiful day. And just slowly making my way forward. I bet there were at least 15 people leaving this morning that started into the Smokies. Good breakfast at the Leapfrog Cafe there, and away we go. And it sounds like, depending on how long it takes me to get through the Smokies, but it sounds like I may end up seeing him again up in Davenport, because he said this was his last day here at Fontana Dam. Then he's taken 2 days off, and then he'll set up for 3 or so days up in Davenport, which is the other end of the Smokies, the northern end, that way exit the Smokies from. So again, this is a beautiful day. Trail has been kind to me, and just a view of what I've got up here. Gorgeous, gorgeous day. Thank you, Lord. I have no idea what mountain I'm on top of other than being in the Smokies. But beautiful, beautiful view. Continue making our way along. hasn't been too bad. I'm feeling all right. I don't feel any pulling or tugging or hot spots right now. So that's always a good sign. I can definitely tell I haven't been carrying a full pack on trail for a while, but this too shall pass. The vastness of the mountain range is just stunning. All right, a little bit of a rock scramble across the trail here this morning. I'm glad we're on the east side, so the sun has melted any ice that may have accumulated over the night. It is supposed to drop below freezing tonight, so we'll see what that brings, which side of the mountain we'll be on. Maybe we'll get the morning sun, depending on which shelter we stop at. There's a tent site and 2 shelters within about 6 miles of each other. Just gonna see how I feel when I get to the first one. If I think I can handle going a few more miles, I'll move to the second one and just take it from there. Not trying to push hard. One group went by me. They said they were doing 18 miles today, but that's good. They're all in their early 20s and they were whipping right along. I tried to catch their draft, but it just didn't work. So I kept using my own power. Couldn't draft off them. But just an absolutely gorgeous day. I just can't get over this. How beautiful it is. After all that rain yesterday, just how cleared up and how beautiful this is. And just to be able to see just forever and ever, and how high those mountains are over there. Just amazing. Okay, this fire tower is called Shuck Stack. There it is. I'm going to attempt to climb up there. They said it's super windy and freezing cold. Okay, so I started up, but I can't bring myself to do it. It's super windy. It is so high, and I just can't do it. I'm unable to do it. I'm sorry. You won't get beautiful videos, but I'll do the best I can with what I have here. But this is yeah, a little too high and too much for me. I can't handle it. I feel very unsteady. Kind of surprising myself here of how unsteady I'm feeling being up this high on this, and I'm not even all the way to the top. It is a very windy day. The temperature continues to drop, and this log will give you an idea of just how cold it is. The water that was leaking off it is now frozen. The skies remain beautiful blue, but it is a very, very cold day. Well, I shouldn't say very, very cold. It is a cold day. The wind just cuts right through you. At one point I stopped and put my rain pants and my raincoat over the top of what I was already wearing just to help block the wind. And I feel much better. I did have my gloves on for a while, but I have since taken those off. I could feel my hands were getting too hot. And the last thing I want to do in this kind of weather is sweat anywhere. And then go to stop for a snack or stop for the night. And that freezing cold air starts chilling you to the bone. So I've had 11 people pass me so far today, but that is all right with me because there's one thing I know, I am still moving. So it is good. I'm hoping I'll come to an open area real soon, or maybe a big log that I can sit on to go ahead and take a little bit of a break. Have some of my dehydrated apples I made, and then peanut butter. Just have a little bit of a snack. So, I know there is a campsite not too far from here. I don't know if there are picnic tables at it, but there is a campsite. So I might just make it that far and go ahead and have my snack and work my way on up to Mollies Ridge Shelter. Oh, you know what? I don't know. This might be the log I needed. No, I'll move on. I'm afraid I'll get down and won't be able to get back up. That's kind of a low log. Listen to me being so picky out here in the woods. That's crazy. That is crazy. But just to give you an idea of the view, I just do a complete 360. Totally gorgeous. Starting to get a little nervous because I have not seen a blaze in quite a while. But I pulled up my map and I am still on the right path. I just don't understand why there hasn't been a blaze for a while. It looks almost like, or feels like even, I've been walking down a riverbed and I wanted to make sure I had not gotten off trail somehow. But yeah, it can be very confusing in here with different downed branches and trees, all the rocks, and what really looks to be like a gully that water runs down when it rains. So every now and then I do turn around and take a look. Oh, there comes Chris looking for a blaze, and I didn't even see it on the back side of the trees. So, but that's another reassurance that I'm on the right trail too. One, my map, and two, now Chris is behind me. So, yep. Been a long day. Still have a couple miles to go, but getting there. On a bit of a downhill now, and then we have a very, very steep uphill climb, and our shelter is just barely over the other side of the hill, I believe. So I'm hoping it'll be on the side of the hill that is blocking the wind. They're talking single-digit wind chill tonight, so it could prove very interesting. One mountain peak over there, trying to figure if that is ice or snow covered on the trees. It's kind of hard to tell. So walking along it, it feels like it's raining on me, but what it is, the trees have ice on them, and the sun is heating it up enough with the wind blowing to actually have it melt off. So these are some of those white areas I saw before. They're actually ice on the trees. That's what it is. How beautiful. Okay, that Mollies Ridge Shelter. It is freezing cold. Supposed to get into the single digits tonight. Man, my lips are already frozen. But somebody had this huge tarp they put up in front of the shelter, which is awesome. Another guy got a fire going. Over here, the wind blocked a little bit, so you could eat your dinner. But this is what it looks like. This is, I have every single piece of clothing on there's in my backpack. I am just, it's just so cold. And over here you have the hangs, so the cables, you hook your bag. Some people are putting their entire backpacks up there, others just put their food, but there's some here, there's some over in that area as well. Down the trail over here, so you can go get your water. So they don't want you going to the bathroom on this side of the shelter. They have a sign that says toilet and points, and you just find a tree, and on the other side down there is the water. But this is the view from up here, and I'm cutting this real short because I don't have my gloves on. My hands are freezing. Like I say, very blessed that this huge tarp is on there inside in a shelter. Gonna stay warm. Nice fire going. And thank you, Lord, for all that. So, hiked for, I think I'm at mile 176. Anyway, rough day for me. First day, been 11 days since I carried that backpack. This is my first day, and I'm feeling every bit of it. Feeling every bit of it. But good night. Well, it was a brutal start to the morning. It was 25 degrees inside the shelter, and that was with a tarp on the front of it. I have no idea what it was outside the shelter with that wind chill, but it was enough that water bottles were frozen, the path is frozen in places. Yeah, it was pretty rough start to the morning. On this side of the mountain, the east side doing great because blocking that wind, the mountain is. But you get around to the other side and it's brutal once again. I didn't do a lot of filming because it was so cold to take my hands out of my gloves and try to film anything. But I have to find the stamina, the energy to push onward. The choices for the next shelters were 3 miles, 6 miles, or 15 miles. In order to really push, because there's a big rainstorm coming in Thursday night and then all day Friday and Saturday. Right now, I will not get out of the Smokies before Friday. If I could have done 15 miles yesterday, and then 15 more today, and 15 blah, blah, blah. I could have exited on the day of the rain, but right now, I just don't see that happening. I lost my trail legs without a doubt. I was hurting yesterday. This right now is fairly flat, just minor rolling up and downs, but the hills are just still kicking my butt. Those big climbs. Yeah, I was hurting by the time I got in last night. I was able to eat one of the dehydrated meals, the risotto with chicken. Oh my gosh, was that ever delicious. And then I was on my pad and in the sleeping bag by, I don't know, 7:15, somewhere in that area. There were only 2 people who got in after me. Everybody else was already in there. This morning I had my oatmeal for breakfast, a little bit of water, and then with electrolytes in it, and then started out. Again, pushing for 15 miles today. Pray my legs will hold up and I can make it. This has been with 5 days worth of food. The pack is pretty heavy, pretty heavy. But at the rate I'm going, it would literally take me 4 days to get to Newfound Gap, and where I could catch a shuttle to go down into Gatlinburg. At that point, I would have to do a little bit of resupply to get me through the Smokies. But there aren't too many options out here for places to catch shuttles. I think Clingmans Dome, which is, I don't know, it was 30 miles from yesterday, but, and then Newfound Gap, which is 8 miles after Clingmans Dome. So I'll just keep pushing, doing the best I can. I have a feeling our shelter was packed last night. When I got up this morning to use the bathroom early on, our shelter was full, so there were 14 people in the shelter. There was a tent in the area where you cook, and there were 4 other tents set up outside. So if all those people are heading towards that same 15 miles away shelter called Derrick Knob Shelter, if all those folks are headed to the same, I will not get in the shelter because I'll be the last one there. I am the slowest hiker out of the entire group. So it's first come, first serve at the shelters. So hopefully the ground won't be frozen and I will be able to get my tent stakes in the ground to set up my tent. I do not have a backup plan. Finding a bunch of boulders and rocks, I don't know, but hold the tent down. Something will work. But again, probably not a lot of filming today just because it is so cold. Well, it's been a very rough day for me. I think I have narrowed it down to the oatmeal that made me sick the last time I was sick on the trail, because I have not had any of it since then. And this morning I had some of that oatmeal. Within an hour and a half, I was sick to my stomach 7 times and had to run off trail to use as a toilet 3 times. I have barely gone 5 miles. I have to keep stopping because of stomach cramps. But I am staying hydrated. I keep drinking electrolytes. Found a beautiful spring, plenty of flowing water coming out of a pipe. So I've since filled up both my water bottles. So I have 2 full liters of water. I ate a little bit. It was a protein bar. And then I had a little container like you get at the hotels of peanut butter. And it took me 25 minutes, but I finally choked the peanut butter down. I'm only going to be making it 6 miles today. The group I was with, that were all staying at the shelter last night, they all made it, or are making it to 12 miles to that shelter. But I either stop at this shelter that's only a mile away now, either stop there for the night, or I attempt to go 6 more miles to get to that shelter. Because that is the only one after the one that's coming up in 1 mile. I wish I had it in me to keep going. That way it would give me a chance to get through the Smokies in 5 days before the big rainstorm come in Friday and Saturday. But I don't see it. Right now I just don't see me being able to go right now 7 miles to that farther shelter before it gets too dark or the ground starts getting too frozen for me to be able to get my tent stakes in. There would not be any room in the shelter, which is fine with me. I don't mind tenting. But part of me wants to push on. I really, really do. But another part of me says, just stop real early, because it's like not even 3 o'clock. Just stop real early and at this shelter that's only a mile away. Call it a day. Maybe lay down, get my tent pitched, get everything set up. Maybe lay down, take a nap, get up, eat a little dinner, and then lay back down for the night. And maybe my body will be ready in the morning to hopefully kick out a 15-mile day to get to a good shelter. A lot of climbing as I head up towards the Clingmans Dome in a couple days. 6,000 and some odd foot elevation. But here's some of the view I'm getting through the trees. So it is another sunny, gorgeous day. That's the trail I just came up. And then this is looking up the hill that is actually blocking the cool wind that's blowing. But it has been another beautiful sunny day. And I wish I could have taken advantage of it by getting more miles under me. But it's very important to listen to one's body. And it just seems for me it has been one thing after another. Maybe I'm getting it all out of the way now, so I won't have any issues later. It's just disheartening sometimes, that's all. Just very disheartening. Well, I had my first fall on the trail. As you can see right over here, I don't know if I can point at it, but anyway, right over here there's a smudge mark. I was stepping there in order to step over the low part of the blowdown, and you can see there my foot slipped. As I slipped, I fell backwards against that tree. So it really worked out perfect, because if I had been a little more to the side, I would have fallen totally down on my back. But I fell partway down, and you can see the top part of my bag here, and a little bit on the side hit the tree, which stopped me from falling all the way on my back. So all I had to do was undo all my buckles, pull my arms out, stand myself up, and now I will go ahead and put my pack back on and Started heading on down that trail. All right, I have made it to Spence Field Shelter. It is 2/10 of a mile off the trail. So this is where I'm going to end my day. It's been a little over 6 hours since I left Mollies Ridge Shelter. And this one is only 6 miles from there. So you can see I've only gone 1 mile per hour. My body is drained from being sick earlier, even though I have been able to eat and keep food down and drink the electrolytes. I'm just tired. My body is just tired. So I am going to make my way down to this shelter and call it a very early day, because there's still a good 4 to 5 hours of sunlight left. But that's all right. Sometimes that is just the way it goes. So it's pretty cool looking at this tree over here, not too far from the shelter. As you can see, the ice, so it's dripping from inside, and it's causing the ice to look like, what, stalagmites? So it's kind of cool. As it heats up at the end of the day, the ice inside that hollow drips down, and then it causes those bottom ones to form growing up. So that's pretty cool looking. All right, this is Spence Field Shelter. This is where I will be staying the evening. Water is down behind the shelter, about 1/10 of a mile. And then going down a trail over here, down in the woods there is the privy. It's a really nice privy. It looks actually like it's a new one. There are only 3 of us here right now, but we anticipate more people will be coming in later. And that's my dinner I'll be eating tonight up here on the shelf, and I'm in that far left corner. All my goods are down in that corner.